Instead of saving the earlier human experiment, who were still slaves owned by Enlil, Enki abandoned them and took the more intelligent individuals of the new species, who had the fire of the goddess, and educated them in the mother goddess religion. However, instead of teaching them that we all are equally important and that we all contribute to the overall society world we live in, Enki introduced another Syrian-like hierarchy amongst his creation, where those who were most intelligent ruled the masses as they saw fit. And for those who are advanced researchers into the global elite, and also know how energy works, I ask you the following: what happens when an elite rule the masses? The rulers eventually become addicted to power rushes and to boost their own importance. And from where do they get their power rushes? That's right, by sucking in the energies from the people. They become man-eaters, energy vampires. Didn't Enki understand this? And if he did, why did he still do it? Although this was eons ago, what Enki decided to do right there and then has had implications up to this very day and is a big part of the whole big problematic situation we are trapped in. We can't read his mind and know what he was really thinking, but do we really have to? What we do know and can see are the consequences of what he did. If he really made a mistake which he learned from later, he has showed no signs and willingness to make things right over the millennia. If nothing else, let us humans learn from this, because one day, if we play our cards right, we may want to be creator gods ourselves. When that day comes, we need to keep in mind that with such a huge task at hand, it comes with an enormous amount of responsibility. Every step we take when creating a species needs to be tested across the dimensions to see which probable outcomes a certain decision may have, and build that decision on the possible consequences it would have in the future for the same species. To build something in the moment without first testing it for flaws is irresponsible and may lead to a lot of unnecessary pain and suffering for the species that is created to evolve on the specific planet the Creator God chooses to work upon. In the beginning of the history of Terra, the original founders, the Ancient Ones, knew how to work across the dimensions when they created the first living library. They were responsible, and the consequences of their actions became a golden age on Terra. There are other creator gods with great potentials, who would be called master geneticists in their society, but still lack the responsibility which comes with their great talents. It is unfortunate for us, I think, that Lord Enki continued his experiment here on Earth where one of the most aggressive species in this sector of the galaxy were operating. One could argue that the energies that this creates may have contributed to Enki's decisions, as it is very difficult to think straight in an oppressive environment. But on the other hand, he chose to work under the Syrian king instead of working for his mother, the queen, so he made that decision already early on, long before he came to Terra Nova. And mind you, he took a Syrian consort, Nin-Her-Sag, whom helped him create the version of us that after many twists and turns became Homo sapiens. So we really have to think hard about this. Where was Enki's loyalty, with the king of Sirius or the queen of Orion? I am not trying to put all the blame on Lord Enki, but the situation we are in today started out as a co-creation between Enki, his brother Enlil, and the king of Sirius. Although he did teach us a lot about spirituality, or rather, he taught a selected elite, and how to survive in a hostile environment, he still didn't think highly of his own creation. He looked at us as slightly enhanced animals, where a few were a little more intelligent than others. And his idea of how his creation would survive through the wheels of time was based on elitism, where a few are controlling the many. In later papers we will discuss in details the exact consequences of the actions Enki took before Lemuria and Atlantis. His elite structure built the backbone to our current society, and with that backbone in place, the few are still today able to control the many. But it is not all doom and gloom. On the flip side, we should also be grateful for some things he did. He actually gave each of the new humans a burning torch of the fire of the goddess, which made us tightly connected with the divine. The oppression, however, under which we were raised as fire in a human body, with ourselves being disconnected from the rest of the universe, including our own oversouls, has made it very hard for us to reach our full potentials. So we're sitting in a moral dilemma. We inhabit the fire, but we don't know how to use it responsibly. And I am suggesting that if we don't wake up and let this divine flame start burning again and be used for the good of humanity and the universe in general, Yes, we have that power. Someone else is going to use it until they have totally depleted us of energy. Have you ever felt fatigue without really understanding where the exhaustion comes from, perhaps from one moment to another?